I'm not playing Martinelli. No, brother.
Backwards settings, and you can always change in games. Goes backwards.
It stuns me that people are still mentioning his name.
He got an assist in the game at the Emirates.
Brother, Martinelli's for League Cup and the FA Cup. Allow it. You're starting the League Cup and the FA Cup. That's where you are now, right? Let's be serious now. Man, is still being like Martin. Allow it. Come on. No. So there's no other left. I mean, Trossard.
Nah.
I would go. I would go Eze on the left. Nwaneri central. Madueke on the right, and then Gyökeres up top. Although, I'm just saying, Marina up front, he's doing things, bruv.
He got a hat trick for Spain, and the City games are the weird kind of games for someone like Marina when it's Arteta and Pep, the micromanagers against each other. I'm going Gyökeres though.
Don't be surprised, if he does start Marino instead of Gyökeres.
No, we ain't got time for that. You change things in game. Glock needs to play. Like, the man's ready. I need him to score in a big game.
And you know what? I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm not all in on
Come on, Jordan, man. You got your star striker for these moments.
So let me ask you, what do you think about Gyökeres? Are you all in?
Bad boy, sick, cold. What question marks are there? Do I think he's the most beautiful footballer on the ball? 1,000,000% I don't. I think his general play is okay. I see Show Me can link up, he presses, he drops into midfield, he's getting goals. I don't feel we're creating enough chances. So I think I've said this to you before, so I don't necessarily think it mattered if we had Isak probably be the best, but an Isak, a Gyökeres, a Sesko, I think they would all kind of struggle. As you saw, we create a chance, he bags. How can you not be convinced with Gyökeres? And he's not fit as well. Join the revolution, man. He's here, man.
Not yet.
Why are you concerned about him?
I'm concerned he's a flat track bully.
That's why I wanted to score against City.
I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm concerned. My big thing is that I think Gyökeres is a goal scorer, and I think he'll score goals for Arsenal. I'm just not convinced. I'm not sure yet that he's the difference maker. I think in the games where we struggled last season, those tight games, those games where you need a striker to just do something out of nothing, I'm not sure yet he's the guy that... Oh, I remember so many games when Arsenal had Van Persie, where we were like, we were struggling. Van Persie would just do something, you're like, bang, goal.
Just get us out of jail.
Just get us out of jail. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm saying I'm not convinced that he is.
I'll be real. That's why I'm looking at Eze and them kind of players. That's you lot's remit. For me, with Gyökeres, just feed him. Just feed him. He's clearly
and I think that's the key. I think the goal he scored on the weekend is the goal that I think I hear people telling me about. Oh yeah, but he can run the channels and look at his goals from Portugal. He's running up players, and I think in a weird way, the goal he scored against Leeds is the worst thing that could happen for him.
He had to force it.
Well, it's one. I just think it makes people think, oh, you see, he can get the ball, beat two players, and bang it. That's a goal that I think he scores 9 times out of 10, or week in, week out in the Portuguese league, where you could just bully your way through, man, and beat a keeper that's not that good. He's playing Leeds. Leeds are a championship side. I'm not sure he gets to do that against most teams in this league. But did we
create anything for him in that game for him to have to do that? That's my thing. I don't think we're creating enough for our striker.
No, I think that's fair as well. But I also just think that Gyökeres, I think we have to get used to happening is almost what happened on Saturday. He doesn't get involved in the play much, but be in the box. I don't need him to come wide. I don't need him to link play. I don't need him to pick up the ball in the halfway line, spin and drop it off. I don't need any of that from you. I need you occupying the 2 centre-backs, right? So Saka and Eze and Odegaard, whatever combination, Madueke. So those guys can be one-on-one with their wingers. What's happening now is because Havertz is not a prolific striker, and before him we had... Who was before Havertz?
Jesus.
They're not prolific strikers that do their best work in and around the box. Defenders could double up on Saka or double up on Martinelli because they're the threats, right? Whereas what you need now is a striker that occupies those defenders and says, no, you got to deal with me. Because now I've got 2 of you on me. That means my 2 wingers can cook one-on-one. And I just need you to be in and around the box and provide those little bits of those pockets of space where the ball gets slipped in, turn, bang. That's what. Even the goal in the
Right.
weekend, just be in the box. First touch from Eze, you're putting it in. Food and drink. I don't need you doing what.
Even the
what
Eze assist, it was lovely that it was simple as well.
It was
in its
lovely,
own way.
man. I don't need you doing what I think Isak can do. Isak can pull wide, get the ball, beat two players, and bang it top bins. Brother, you're not that guy. Well, you're not that guy in this league. So I just need him to be the difference maker. In those tight games, can you get the goals where we're struggling to kind of get through? Can you be the difference? I'm not saying that he can't. I'm giving the guy a chance. I'm fair. I'm just saying from what I've seen.
I think we got a Sesko man here, folks. I think we know who we wanted.
No, not even that. I think Sesko actually is a very good striker. He's been done dirty by United, but I don't think
himself dirty. Why would you go over there?
Yeah, I think in the right team, Sesko bangs bare goals. So I'm not saying I don't rate Gyökeres. I'm just saying I kind of see him for what he is. I mean, I'm gonna just put it out there, Deluded.
Oh,
are you definitely convinced that Gyökeres is a significant upgrade on Giroud?
Come on, man. I'm not going to lie. If Giroud was in this team, he'd cook as well. I always think Giroud's a weird relationship with Arsenal because on one hand, I think people look at him with rose tints, seeing what he's done.
The most disrespected striker we've had in the last
He is very disrespected. No, but do you know why that happened at Arsenal? Was because France and Chelsea did something Arsenal didn't. He's a facilitator. Yeah. He does score very important goals. But if you're putting the burden on him to score goals, as we did when Van Persie left, you're obviously going to get left in the lurch. Misprofile. And to be fair, even under Arteta, we've put squad players as regulars and been a bit surprised.
No, you're right.
Giroud's cold.
And Giroud doesn't win you a title. So I'm not here saying Giroud is the guy that wins you a title. He's not. There's a level. There's levels here, right? I'm just saying, Giroud had so many assets. Giroud's first touch, finish, his flicks around the corner to Ramsey and Sanchez. People forget all those things. In the air, the amount of headers he scored. Giroud was a bad boy striker.
Vital goals as well. Puskas winner.
Right. And I'm saying, and Giroud's best season, I think his best year was 15 goals, right? So he's not that guy. My concern, my fear is Gyökeres is the same. He'll get 15 to 18 goals, but is he going to get the goals in the games that really make a difference? And I'm just fearful.
Think he can, because maybe I'm buying for the PR and the propaganda, but there's just something about him, like everything he did to make this move happen, the adversity in his career. But you do all of this. What's a defender stopping you? I genuinely think, I agree with you in that. I think he needs service. I think if you don't provide him with service, and I still think Arteta needs to get that, then it's just it's a bit of nonsense. It's a thing where he's a bit different to Jesus and Havertz and Marino, and that their general play is probably cleaner, crisper than him, but he can do the hardest thing in football, which they can't, is put the ball in the back of the net. But if you buy a pair of trainers, you need to know how to do the laces. And I know, people are injured. It's the start of this season. I actually think if Kai was fit, Kai probably plays in midfield in that in that Odegaard role, Marino role.
I think Havertz starts up top if he was fit.
You reckon?
I think he
would. Alberto will tell him none of that nonsense, bro. The man's 27.
Well, I don't think it'd be the worst idea, because one of the things about Gyökeres, which looks to me, and I'm giving the benefit of the doubt here, he doesn't look like he's quite yet up to speed, brother. He's a very big guy.
No, he's not had preseason.
He's not had so that's why I'm giving him a slight pass. But even when he's up to speed, I'm not convinced that he's got the guile and the game to really make a difference. I think he's a battering ram that's going to bully.
Is that because it's not pretty? Because I can't lie, I disagree, Jordan, in a sense that clearly the man's a lump. He can do the physical thing. But I don't think, I'm not saying you're saying this, but it's like certain people, it's like they're not watching our games because he's not just standing up front. Whether we like it or not, he's going to the left, he's going to the right. I'm seeing him switch play to the right, switch play to the, even when he hit the post, like he started with him and Eze on the left. He's obviously found Madueke. Madueke's decision-making was good and he's hit the post. So is it a case of he's just not what we're accustomed to aesthetically then?
Maybe. And I don't even necessarily care for aesthetics too much. I'm just saying, I'm watching the guy play and I'm just like, okay. I'm ambivalent at the moment. I'm not annoyed at his performances, but I'm not like, oh my God, either. I'm just like, okay, he's got 3 goals. Like he's the top scorer in the league. Do you know what I mean? He's the league top scorer, so that's that's a good start. I'm just thinking ahead of the season when it gets to the nitty gritty. Are you the guy that really, when we need our striker to get us a goal, are you that guy? I'm not convinced. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
that's why it goes. Go on.
No, I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying that I'm not convinced.
But that's where it goes back to what you were saying in that horses for courses and squad depth. Because I was saying this today on the stream. Yeah, people might not like it, even though I'd implore them to go and look at the Champions League. Obviously, it's a 38 game calendar, 50 in all comps. But I promise you, the Kai Havertz's, the Marinos, Jesus, even if he's fit,
Trossard,
huh?
If ever win it.
Martinelli, yeah, no, these are the guys that in games like what you're saying, where it's not happening for Gyökeres, these man come and make themselves heroes. That's why I'm not saying to get rid of Kai. I do think it's a question for Mikel Arteta in that. Do you force Kai into the lineup, quote unquote? Do you make Gyökeres the secondary stuff? A bit like what we're saying with Odegaard, because Odegaard is the captain, etc. But some would say play Wanyeri either against City or in general. Some would say put Eze. Some might even say Marino. So I do think it's a case of horses for courses. I want to get back into that midfield. Yeah, you mentioned midfield, and you know if the midfield's pattern we can get at City. How can it be? How can we do that without Odegaard? Because to be fair, he does lead the press. He does all of these things that are relevant. So it's like you take Odegaard out, you're betting on Wanyeri who might not be up to speed. I reckon Eze could do it, but I've not seen Eze do it. So it's like, oof.
I think this might be part of the evolution. I mentioned evolution of Arteta. This might be the evolution of the team and the press that Odegaard triggers very, very well. Maybe part of our tactic evolving isn't that anymore now. Maybe because that hasn't worked. So maybe it's time for something a little bit different. I'm not too concerned about Odegaard not being there. His form hasn't been. I mean, he's not played much this year. He's come off twice injured, right? So I don't want to talk about his form this season, but his form for the last 18 months hasn't been good. So
he carried him.
Yeah. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I mean, if the shoulder injury is indeed the two things he's come off for now, that might need surgery. Otherwise, it will just keep popping out. And because he's quite a physical, robust, put himself about kind of player anyway, it will just keep popping out. So I don't think it's the worst decision to do it now and then having Odegaard fresh for the second half of the season. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not too worried about Odegaard not being there because he's not been particularly good recently, as in the last year anyway. And now you have got options, and I don't. If you're not going to use those options now to try something different and go to a different level, when will you try them? I mean, yeah, I was thinking about if we can do a 3-man midfield of Marino, Odegaard, Marino, Rice, and Zubimendi, but unless you're going to have Marino as the shadow striker,
fake striker thing, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, like running beyond Gyökeres, like Dele Alli or Frank
occasionally
Lampard.
peel to the left,
yeah, and then just have maybe Odegaard.
Don't do what you did against Liverpool. That won't bang.
No, yeah, I mean he ended up playing like a 4-4-2, but I don't know if that works in this game. But yeah, I think I don't think putting Ranieri in is the worst shot. I think he deserved his shot. He played well against City last year, scored against them, I think, off the bench, but he had a good performance for the time.
Better centrally as well, man. I think he's ready.
I don't think he is. I think he's better wide. I don't know what his thing centrally is. He's not got a great.
What do you mean? Did you not watch the Nottingham Forest game? For once, he's affecting the. Obviously, not 90 minutes. But for once, he's affecting the game over 90 minutes.
That's something normally else as well, I don't think I agree with as well. There's a narrative that Odegaard went off. Now, when Ranieri came on, and that's the reason. Ranieri coming on was the reason why we played.
I don't agree with that.
Better. I don't think it was as simple as that. I don't think it was Ranieri. I thought Ranieri had an okay game, but I don't think we stepped up because Ranieri was a difference.
Yeah, I think it's coincidental, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I do think that. I'm not saying he played poorly, but I'm hearing online, I'm seeing my friends say, "But Ranieri was a difference." I don't know if he was.
It was positive, but no, I don't subscribe that. Odegaard came off, we played with a lot more freedom. I think everything would have panned out the same way. Granted, Odegaard's in a bad way. Eze might be buzzing still. Wanyeri might finally get him his chance. So there might be some individual stuff. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't subscribe to that narrative.
Well, we have scored 7 goals in the time that Odegaard's come off in those 2 games. 7 goals.
We were playing though.
So true. And James on the pod,
more so on Leeds.
And that's the point that James on the pod made. James was like, well, against Leeds and Nottingham Forest, the first 2 goals are both from set pieces, right? And then the floodgates kind of open.
Yeah.
Then we kind of, so maybe that's more the reason why, after the first goal, the second, third, and then in the case of Leeds, 4th and 5th, then kind of followed. So I don't think Ranieri was the difference in that game. But I would start him. I would start him. I think it's a game you want to go and win the game. So, as I said earlier on, I want to win every game at home. Every game at home we've got to win. That includes
especially
Manchester
City. We got bad blood now.
Yeah, Man City aren't in great form. They're not in great form. So while they're in this little patch, let's put it on them. Let's get those 3 points.
I'm with you with that, man. Like, I was watching the Manchester derby. A part of me was thinking, oh, if City lose and it's 3 losses, on the spin, how are they going to come? Or if they win, are they going to be a bit more complacent? Then George, I went to myself, actually, who really cares? City are the big bad bullies. You can't eradicate history, but we've competed against them. There's been bad blood against them. Kind of what you're saying, whether you want us to make the Emirates a fortress or you just want to get as close as possible to Liverpool. We have the tools, we have the ability, and we need to keep proving it to ourselves. And our top 6 record, granted, we lost to Liverpool first time in 2 years. And if anything with Mikel Arteta, it seems of all the top 6 clashes we have, like Pep's the easiest one for him to kind of suss out. Maybe it's similar philosophies, maybe just because he's whatever.
Definitely at home,
at home, yeah. Well, to be fair, even at the Etihad, it's just we're down to 10 men.
We've not won there yet, but but I take your point. But I think being City at home, I think should be something that I would say we should expect to do, but that's something that we've been doing for a couple of years now.
I'll be real. This year, I expect it. I need it.
City, if City turn it on, City can beat you, even away. They can beat you.
Back 5, man. Exclude, in fact, back 4, because I don't even want to throw down.
No, I agree, but they got a serious keeper now. I don't rate their defense that well. Their midfield, I think, is good, but not great. Led by, like I said, a midfielder that for me, I don't think he's up to scratch yet. So run up on him. And then you've got Haaland up top. Their spine, in theory, could be the best spine in the league. Donnarumma, Diaz, Rodri, Haaland. That's a world-class spine if it's on form.
And you got Foden in the mix, who turns up against a smaller club, so it doesn't surprise me what he did against Man United. We need to shut him up as well. Yeah. They've got danger. They've got Haaland, but our centre-backs are on it.
We tend to do all right against Haaland. So I'm not worried about City, but I think as a game we have to take seriously because, like I say, 1, I think we need the 3 points. Because I think I think Liverpool beat Everton next week. And 2, I think it, like I say, all but put City out the race for the title race anyway. So I think you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So
then, like, what was I going to say to you? So then when you look at that, who do you like? Do you think it's an important week for our left backs? Because obviously Calafiori ain't put a foot wrong. Probably unlucky for Miles Lewis-Skelly. A lot of fans want to see him compete, who can play centre half as well as left back. Like, what do you make of left back? What do you make of everything there?
It's funny because all season I've been saying I just hate Calafiori at left back. He's not a left back. He can do a job there, but he's not a left back. Going forward last year, he looked like he was impressive and he was definitely a weapon. Defensively, I think he could be got at 1-on-1 at left back, right? So like, stop this. Man can do a job there. Play man where they're at their strongest, right? This year, egg on my face.
4 games, he's been brilliant, man.
Every single game, he's been a 7 out of 10 minimum.
Needed to come off in the second half against Forest. I think he was.
He did. But he's been brilliant at left back. So he's proved me kind of wrong. I mean, it's only 4 games, so I don't want to get. I don't want to
giving a man credit where due. You'd be an idiot not to.
I want to see a bigger sample size of performances, but the facts right now are it's 4 games at left back. It's 4 great performances. So fair play in that sense. But for the City game, I would bring in Lewis-Skelly. I would bring in Lewis-Skelly for the City game. That's not a slight on Calafiori.
I was going to say for Bilbao, I'd do that,
Yeah. It might be a bit much to kind of throw Lewis-Skelly in for his first game of the season in a home game against City. So maybe you want to give him a game beforehand just to warm in against Bilbao. But a City game, I think his inversion, will be an asset. I don't rate that City midfield yet. And I think that's where you can win the game. Just run up on them. They've got a couple new boys in there. Who
don't think it's the old City.
Yeah, man. I think if you put it on them, I think you can get some joy. And I think him coming inside, definitely, I think is a weapon. But then you got to think about who's your left winger then, because if they're going to start on the right, who's their
guy
right
you don't want would have to play.
Maybe. Maybe.
I actually think. I'm sorry, I was about to call him Pep. Mikel Arteta was going to play Martinelli against City just because of that. Literally, just because of that backways. I want Eze to play 100%, but I think Arteta's going to do that.
But then that speaks then, Deluded, to then the same pussy mentality that he employed at Anfield. It's I'm thinking about what you can do to me rather than
need to hit you.
What I can do to you. So if your first thought is I'm going to pick my team based off who might hurt us, that's not how champions think.
That's not, you are right.
It needs to be no. I'm playing this guy because this guy's going to hurt you. He's going to hurt you. So my left wingers would be Eze and. I mean, it's the first time Eze and Ranieri in that sense would have played together. So that's maybe a gamble. And on the who's their right winger is it not Shirky? Is it Silva?
They played Bernardo against United.
On the right.
I assume they're gonna go with that, on the right. So I assume they might do that again. But with Pep, you just never know. He could easily start Salvinho. I'd be interested to see Doku. He looked lively against Man United, and he might be filled with a bit of confidence. And but I'd imagine if I had to bet money, Bernardo will be there right back, like against
Salvinho did cook. He did cook last year against us.
Yeah,
the Etihad anyway. So maybe I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think the inversion is something that I think could benefit us with the Lewis Skelly. But then again, maybe part of the evolution that I spoke about wanting from Arteta is he wants an up and down left back, which Calafiori does, gets up and down, disciplined, and I love the way he handled Salah. So I wouldn't be pissed if he started the game. My nod would probably on this one go towards Lewis Skelly.
You know what? It's difficult. And you know what? We're in that period now where you kind of said we've got 3-4 games in 10 days. This is where Arteta's got to be a bit smart and box clever and rest this one or play this one. Not even because of rest. I think we need to get away from the whole rest talk and kind of look at players at their tools. Like, there's tools, what can help us? So Arteta's going to have to kind of do that. We've not really given Eze enough credit or spoke on Eze. We're all happy. We're buzzing. You as well, being in South London, are probably buzzing a lot more than me. What did you make of Eze's first performance? Because I don't think it was amazing. I'll be real.
His first game was it Liverpool off the bench?
No, sorry, his first start. Sorry, so against Forest. I think there was moments of brilliance.
I thought first half he was quite quiet. Second half, I thought he came alive. I love the assist. Yeah. Very direct. Just first time, there you go. Put it in. Good night.
More involved though.
Yeah, I thought after the goal, I thought he got a bit more lively.
But that's more on the team than Eze for me.
Yeah. I thought he was. I thought it was good. I know he wasn't great, and I love that we've got him. I love him. I just love him. I love him for many reasons, but I'm glad we've got him. But yeah, I think I think he'll get better. I think he'll warm in. I'm biased towards him. I've always been biased.
We all are.
But a friend of mine made an interesting point that they said they think his move to Arsenal has echoes of Grealish to City, in that you've gone from being the main man in a small pond to a big pond. Can you have that same impact? And my friend was saying, he's not an Arsenal fan, but he was saying, just all seriously, he's like, I fear that he might be all right, but you won't get the Eze you saw at Palace. I don't agree.
I disagree with that.
I do too, but I thought it was a valid point.
It's a very valid thing to happen.
You know what I mean? I think he's magic.